And a very good morning to you. This is the Daily Brief, and it starts right now. My name is Ian Wafula, and of course we begin with the developing story where the High Court has upheld the election of Shinyalu Member of Parliament, Justice Kizito, as the Member of Parliament for that particular constituency. We shall keep you up to speed about exactly what was in that ruling, but we've just received this news right now. In a similar situation, in other stories that we are following right here on the Daily Brief, it is matters Court of Appeal is set to rule in regards to whether Governor Cyprian Awiti will retain his seat as the Homa Bay County Governor. And these are some of the stories that are making headlines right now, right here on the Daily Brief, showing you on your screen shortly. And then part of Nairobi County Government's regeneration program has seen the pulling down of stalls at the Mutindwa market, and definitely we're expecting a bit of reactions from the businessmen and women in that particular area. Environmentalists continue to be very concerned about the death of 9 rhinos, and this has led to the Kenya Wildlife Service to today decide to display the horns with transmitters and chips following that translocation process of about 14 rhinos, which has so far seen 9 of them actually die, and this has puzzled very many individuals, including the Ministry of Tourism. Najib Balala says that investigations into the cause of the death of the 9 rhinos has actually commenced. So we shall keep you up to speed on that. And of course, also speaking to a number of environmentalists just to get further reactions as to what they think might have gone wrong. And finally, like I'd mentioned to you, the developing story that we have received right now is that the Court of Appeal has actually upheld the election of Justice Kizito as the Shinyalu Member of Parliament. And a little bit later in this live broadcast, we shall also be speaking to former Kiambu County Governor, Mr. Kabogo, in regards to matters, current affairs within the political scene, talk on corruption, of course, calls for lifestyle audit, and even the progress of Kiambu County after he left that particular office. What does he think? We shall find out a little bit later in this live broadcast. But joining me right now, we have political and current affairs analysts Martin Ndati. We have lawyer Philip Magal, as well as current and political affairs analyst Bernard Wakoli. And this is what we are starting on right now. Confusion over the fate of the opposition National Super Alliance, NASA, deepened Wednesday with the Mani National Congress party leader Musalia Mudavadi now admitting the existence of discomfort, but clarifying that no party has formally quit the coalition. Mudavadi spoke as his parliamentary group leader Ayub Savula said the party will hold a meeting to reconsider its monthly contributions to fund the coalition. Chemutai Goin starts us off.
NASA is history.
A statement that has rattled the Orange Democratic Movement Party and contradicted by a Mani National Congress party leader Musalia Mudavadi amid conflicting statements from members of affiliate parties, begging the question, what is happening in the NASA House?
Ford Kenya can quit, can leave the NASA coalition, but they have to follow the process.
Hakuna chama chochote ambacho mimi nafahamu kimeandika kwa registrar of political parties kusema kimejiondoa kwa NASA.
As a coalition, it will remain as a coalition on paper. So there is no way they will kick out Chris Wamalwa from parliamentary leadership.
The Lugari MP, who chairs the ANC parliamentary group, will Thursday lead his colleagues in charting the way forward for the party, which is angling to boost its influence in Western Kenya ahead of the 2022 contest.
We want to withdraw funding from NASA. We take the funding to ANC so that we strengthen our own party. Wiper is also on the same line. To withdraw funding from NASA, it will take the funding to Wiper. Ford Kenya will also withdraw funding from NASA. It will take to Ford Kenya. We strengthen the parties.
A party like us, 6 members, and they are telling you they'll be messy, they'll be noisy, and there are 6 members, surely. You know, if a party like Wiper tells you they are going to cause chaos, you get shaken a bit. But parties that are actually surviving on the wings of ODM to come out there and disturb everybody, I think it's quite unfair and it's quite dishonest.
While announcing the death of Nasser, Ford Kenya leader Moses Wetangula termed the March 9th handshake as betrayal in the city. But in a rejoinder, ODM Secretary General Edwin Sifuna accused Wetangula of strangling the coalition after skipping Odinga's January 30th oathing ceremony at the Uhuru Park grounds.
Itakuwa makosa kwetu kuua upinzani, na ndio kwa sababu nasema tuna changamoto kweli, lakini hatutaki upinzani kufe.
NASA stopped existing on the 30th of January.
In terms of party strength, ODM, which is ranked second after the ruling Jubilee Party in the National Assembly and the Senate and enjoys a majority within the NASA coalition, has challenged its affiliates who wish to quit the coalition to surrender House leadership positions held by its members. The disquiet comes in the wake of improved relations between Jubilee and ODM, which has sent its partners back to the drawing board. It now remains to be seen just how long the glue holding the National Super Alliance together will hold, even as its principals and their foot soldiers seemingly differ over the future of the coalition. Chemutai Goin, K24 at Parliament Buildings.
Is NASA dead is a question perhaps in the minds of many amidst different reactions here. And some say the cookie began crumbling during the March 9th handshake. Let me find out what my panel thinks. I'll start with you, Martin. Is NASA dead? Does NASA exist? And maybe just to bring you up to speed, you do remember the agreement under which they came in to bring the coalition that the moment 3 of the affiliated parties actually exit, then that is actually the official death of NASA. We had to see that happen.
NASA exists on paper. And, you know, the coalition was formed with one idea in mind. They believed they were going to win power. So the whole arrangement was crafted on knowing that when they get power, they'll share it. But when they failed to win power, there were challenges. Then, of course, you remember what happened when Raila went to Uhuru Park alone. And the other ones didn't turn up. It caused suspicion. There have been allegations and counter-allegations from both sides of the divide. So from that time, and you know, Raila is playing very interesting politics. He wants to cling on NASA, but at the same time, he's also working with Jubilee. Then the other 3 seem not to know what they need. Because after Raila left NASA in quotes, they should have stuck together and strengthened the coalition. Then they will now be playing the role of the official opposition. But you see, the exit of Raila looks like it caught them off guard.
He still says he did not exit. In fact, to bring you up to speed, he said that that is why during the national prayer day, it was important for him to have his deputy, Kalonzo Musyoka.
He is playing doublespeak. Okay. Because, you know, you cannot be, on one side you say you are working with Jubilee. The other side, you say you are in the opposition. You can't have it both ways, you know. So he wants...
Okay. Philip, what do you think?
NASA is dead.
From what point?
It died on the 30th of January, when the other...
This is during the swearing.
Yes, when the other 2 principals, 3 principals failed to show up and support Raila. And that death was confirmed on the 3rd of March.
When they were asked initially, they said this was sort of a strategy that they decided to stay away from that swearing in.
Yeah, of course, nobody could give, everybody was giving contradictory answers.
Yes.
Others were saying they were held up, others saying they had grenades thrown in into their homes. Others were saying they would be sworn in Kasarani in due course. We never saw that happen. Okay. And this all this was confirmed on the 8th of March, when Raila emerged out of Harambee House with the president, alone. And again, we had people complaining. We had Kalonzo complaining. We had Mudavadi complaining that they had been excluded. So since then, it's just been a matter of, you know, yes, matter of time, and it has only remained existent, as my colleagues say, on paper. Otherwise, we don't expect much from it as a coalition. It was formed purely as a vehicle to gain power. Okay. It failed to meet its objectives, And I think we'll have another coalition come 2022.
But what is your immediate
Yeah,
take?
what we are seeing in NASA currently is what happens immediately, or what happens in the formation and management of political coalitions in Kenya.
Yeah.
What we are seeing is a series of realignments towards 2022 elections. And people are now talking and accusing Honorable Wetangula of having made that statement. But the first statement on NASA came out from Raila Odinga when he emerged from a meeting, a NEC meeting within his part at Orange House. And he said that NASA was established for the purposes of winning elections, and it has served its purpose. So every party now retreats to strengthen itself, and they will be looking for other partners. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
Now, is it that when Raila is only allowed to look for partners, but other members within the political formation of NASA are not allowed to, mingle and also look for
And
other
at the
partners?
time, Bernard, there was the whole debate about ODM being the biggest and the strongest party within NASA, and therefore
Then-
they sort of, in a way, called the shots.
That again brings the question of who manages NASA. Because recently you heard about when there's this case between Sumra and Mwade of Embakasi. Is it Embakasi North or Embakasi
Yes,
South?
and he's of Wiper Party.
Yeah, Mwade is of Wiper,
Yes.
then Sumra is ODM.
ODM.
When the verdict came out and it was like the court has nullified the election of Mwade, there was a first tweet that we saw was from NASA celebrating, saying, want to congratulate Sumra for winning the petition. So if NASA is not ODM and ODM is not NASA, who was making the tweets?
And Martin, Bernard has simply asked who runs NASA. This is the brainchild of one Musalia Mudavadi. What do you think?
You know, the real story about NASA has never been told. The initial arrangement was not even what Musalia came up with. There was a meeting in Oraro's house where Jirongo and Marende and Raila and Gideon were supposed to do what was called a super alliance. So Musalia stumbled on that idea, and of course he is the one who popularized and brought it out there. Then ultimately now they pull in the others. But there was the 2013 MOU, which bound Raila to support Kalonzo in 2017. So the coming in of Musalia now with NASA gave Raila an opportunity to run away from honoring that pact. Because now his excuse was that that was CORD. Now this is not CORD, this is NASA. Musalia has come in, so the dynamics have changed. So he conveniently managed to run away from that pact. And the issue of swearing in, there are two sides to it. Because you had Barack Muluka, who is the Secretary General of ANC, saying that those guys were told to switch off their phones and told that they'll be called from some Nigerian number, which rings when the phone is off. And they say Raila told them that he was marooned in some place. When they asked who had marooned him, he just said these people. You see, that is being vague. So there are two, you cannot clearly get to know who is saying what. And immediately after the swearing in quotes, the people who are around Raila, Millie Odhiambo and the rest of them, came out celebrating and saying, now they have no debts. So to them, it was very good that these guys didn't turn up. Because Muluka was claiming that they had agreed. They meet in one place. Okay. Then from there, they were supposed to go to Serena, where Raila was supposed to pick them en route to Uhuru Park.
So with all this happening, Martin, so who's the original, should I call it, founder of NASA, and who does NASA belong to really?
Musalia is the one now who came up with, who popularized the name. But I've told you the initial arrangement, what had happened, which we were private, which has not been made fully public. But it was captured by one of your paper here by Derek Otieno. He wrote some article. Nick's alert denied it, but ultimately they confirmed that that was the arrangement. But Musalia now is the one who came out and popularized the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
But currently, NASA is like run by ODM.
And you've emphasized that particular point. I'll come back to you, Jamin. A lot is happening right now. In fact, if you're trying to make your way through University Way right here in Nairobi, that might not be possible because border operators right here in the city are demonstrating about their welfare. In fact, just let's listen in to what exactly they're saying.
Nagari ilikuwa kwanza on the wrong side. Na ni GK, double cabin ya Central. vijana tumevumilia, tutakuwa na demonstration, lakini sasa hivi wanalazimisha, wanagonga chairman wetu. Wanataka sisi tufanye nini? Na huyu ni mtu ako na familia. Na si ati kama wanamjua kama chama na unajua mpaka mahali anaishi kwake. Sio kujua mshike kwa nyumba yake basi. Ama aende kwa stage yake mahali yako. Ni mtu ako na members. Wanamgonga kwa barabara, hiyo ni haki kweli? Sisi tumevumilia kama riders.
Hii pick up mzee nani amesign? Because si hapo peke yake imegonga ya kwanza. Inagonga kila mahali kila mahali. Inagonga Vincent pale. Acha tukando lishi ya bai bwana. Inagonga mbele na mrani. Sisi tunaomba accident imetokea.
We made to understand they're demonstrating the fact that an ambulance has hit one of their own, and also just complaining about the general welfare and the management of their affairs right here in the CBD. Remember, a couple of weeks ago, we saw the Nairobi County government actually come forward with some stringent measures ensuring that they do not make their way into the CBD. So we shall keep you up to speed about that. In the meantime, a story that has not only made Kenyan headlines, but also been of international concern, where 9 rhinos died during the translocation process. Still, we're expecting the Kenya Wildlife Service to actually react to that, and right now they're trying to show some of the horns that were from the rhinos and also that had chips. We shall keep you up to speed about this particular display, but also KWS is expected to be explaining as to why, or rather their reasons why they believe the 9 rhinos that were being translocated from Nairobi and Nakuru National Parks to Tsavo East actually succumbed, and under what circumstances. So we shall keep you up to speed as soon as we have Dan Kaburu, who's our environmental reporter, just to tell us exactly what has been transpiring. Now, gentlemen, I'm coming to you shortly, but also at the same time, we're going to play a video shortly where this week we saw former Chief Justice William Mutunga actually in his take saying that the March 9th handshake took with it the role of opposition, saying that simply there is a vacuum in the country where the opposition should have been. Neville, kindly let me have this off. What is your take on that? Because he believes there's a gap due to lack of opposition, and he says someone needs to fill that particular gap to keep government in check. Bernard.
Yeah. When you look at the aftermath of the handshake, you realize that there was so much disquiet within the opposition, and it left the opposition very confused because they were looking up to the Honorable Raila Odinga as the main leader. So having shook his hands with Uhuru, then they were left in the limbo without knowing exactly what to do. And in that state of being in off balance, they have been trying to get a footing, but all in vain. So I think currently the role of opposition has been washed. But previously we have had cases where the civil society and the media has always taken up that
But even
space.
in the current system, Bernard, we do have leaders of minority within the National Assembly. Have they played their role?
We have leaders of minority, but as the legislature is established as currently, I think there's no opposition and there's no government. All members are supposed to, to join forces and, criticize the executive. That's why we have cabinet secretaries not within the parliament, so that there's that division of roles.
Martin, what do you think?
So I think the opposition is quite.
Actually, before I come to you, Martin, let me hear from Philip in terms of the vacuum the former Chief Justice claims there is, and he believes these are dangerous waters we are treading in if no one will keep government in check.
Now, first of all, Ian, allow me to touch on the issue of the first question, which was who's running NASA.
Okay.
I think the other two parties, the other three coalition partners are definitely riding on ODM's back, and it doesn't matter who actually created NASA. That is details. What really matters is ODM is the majority party, and it is the one running the show.
Okay.
As regards opposition, indeed the opposition is dead. Number one, it's because Raila is synonymous with opposition politics in Kenya. And his handshake with the president definitely robs the opposition that visibility and the stamina which it has been known to have with Raila on its side. The other thing is the numbers. Now that ODM has thrown its weight behind the government, the opposition is very much in the minority and might not be able to speak as loudly as it likes to. And lastly, it is the confusion among the other principals who are left outside the handshake. These people really didn't know how to react. They ought to have reorganized themselves. They ought to have, reconstituted to offer a formidable opposition to the government.
Okay, thank you, Phil. Martin, just before we take a short commercial break, the place of opposition, is there a vacuum as we speak?
Ian, when we changed the constitution in 2010, we are supposed not to have the opposition and government. We are supposed to have the minority and majority. But we are still stuck in the old mindset where you have government and you have opposition.
Yeah.
In a pure presidential system, which is American, there is no opposition and there's no government. You have the minority and you have the majority. But because we were used to having government and having opposition, and Raila has been playing the role of opposition, people are still in that old mindset.
But of course, the general feeling that the leaders of minority are not necessarily even keeping the executive to check or calling out their members from the other side.
Raila used to do that extremely well, even when he was not, he was not the leader of minority. He's not having any elective seat. He's the guy who vied against the president and lost. But he would be able to marshal the numbers and keep the government in check. Okay. But the ones who remained in NASA, the three guys after Raila bolted, they are the ones who are supposed now to provide that leadership. But it's like it hit them so hard. I think they are here to recover. And
okay.
they have not, because they keep on, Wetangula says the thing is moribund, the next minute is dead. Musalia says they are pulled out. You've seen what Sabula is saying. So they don't seem to know. The other day you saw Raila Kalonzo saying he will not mind working with Raila. They were all sitting there hoping that Raila is going to leave his support to them. But if Raila moves, he moves with the support. Okay. And if he quits politics, none of them is going to inherit that support. You've seen DP Ruto coming in strongly and picking some of the key Raila.
Especially at the coastal region.
Yeah,
hold on, Martin, to that. We're crossing over to Mombasa. I understand the Kabarani Makupa Causeway temporarily closed down after a train ferrying petrol actually derailed this morning. Heavy traffic has been reported in the area. Fred Kai joins us now. Fred Kai, what exactly is happening?
Shukran sana Ian. Ni kwamba tuko katika maeneo ya Kibarani, maeneo ya tukio ambayo liliweza kutokea jana usiku mwendo wa saa 10, kwamba kuna gari moshi iliweza kukosa mwelekeo na kuweza kuacha bogi lake moja kutoka katika reli na kuweza kuanguka, na gari moshi hili lilikuwa limeweza kubeba mafuta ya petroli, na kama unavyojua Ian, athari ya mafuta ya petroli katika kama pengine kama itaweza kushika moto, basi inaweza kuleta maafa makubwa. Na tukiangalia kwamba katika eneo hili ambao liliweza kuweza kuanguka gari moshi hili ni karibu na kijiji, na hapa nilipo naweza kuungana na mkurugenzi wa NEMA katika kaunti ya Mombasa aweze kutupatia mwafaka ama aweze kutupatia maoni yake ni gani kuhusu fika swala zima hili la gari moshi kuweza kumwaga mafuta katika ardhi, na pengine linaweza kuleta shida gani katika mazingira. Naam bwana Steve, pengine tuanze na tupatie tu taswira kamili ya gari moshi hili kuweza kumwaga mafuta katika ardhi.
Asante sana. Hii gari ilikuwa imetoka sehemu ya port ikibeba mafuta kiasi ya around 100,000 liters, na tuna estimate kwamba 50,000 ilimwagika na 50,000 ikaokolewa. Na wakati accident ilipofanyika, the County Disaster Committee Management Committee ili move in very fast, tuka contain the situation, tuka stabilize the situation, na ningependa kuambia wananchi kwamba hakuna mafuta yoyote ambayo imeingia kwa bahari, lakini ile imemwangika kwa mchanga. Tutapatiana kama shirika la NEMA, tutapatiana what we call a restoration order ndio watu wa Kenya Railways waweze kutoa hiyo mchanga ambayo imekuwa imeathirika ama imekuwa polluted. Kuna facility ya kutreat such as soil ndio yede kuwa treated na wa restore the ground to the nearest to the way it was before the accident.
Na pengine unaona italeta athari gani zipi mbali na hayo? Na pia hivi majuzi tumeweza kuona kwamba reli inaweza gari moshi inaweza kutoka kwa njia yake na kuweza kuingia katika bahari, na sasa tumeona kwamba imeweza kuanguka hapa chini. Unaona kwamba ni taratibu gani unafaa kufuatiliwa?
Petroleum ni hydrocarbons na zikiingia chini ya mchanga zinaweza pollute the water resource, na kwa hivyo tuta move very fast tuhakikishe kwamba Kenya Railways ambao tutataka wakuwe held responsible wamechukua hiyo mchanga, wamecontain, ndio hiyo mafuta isiendelee kuingia chini. Na ni ukweli kwamba juzi kulikuwa na ingine, na kama County Disaster Management Committee tutafanya investigation, manake this is the second time in this year, na tunataka kujua sababu gani ambazo hizi derailments zinafanyika na ni kwa nini mafuta ya petroli ndio inaanguka. Kwa hivyo kama disaster committee ya Mombasa tunataka kufanya investigation tujue what is really happening, ndio hii maneno isifanyike siku ingine.
Na pengine Ian, kama utaweza kuniruhusu niweze kuongea na director wa county ya Mombasa wa inspectorate aweze kutupatia mwafaka wake ni vipi, waliweza kufika hapa mwendo wa saa ngapi, na pengine wameweza kumobilize vipi watu wa fire na huduma zingine mbalimbali. Pengine tuanze na majina yako na utupe taswira kamili ilikuwa vipi.
Mimi naitwa Mohamed Amir, ndio director wa inspectorate, na kama mlivyosikia kutokana na hao wenzangu kwamba kulitokea hii derailment around hiyo time ya 4:30 around 4 o'clock in the morning, na in terms of containment tuliangalia safety ya wananchi, tukasema kwamba lazima kabla hatuja allow traffic iendelee to contain hii area, kwa sababu ni pali imeanguka ni chini ya bridge, na unajua hii bridge iko on both sides of the road. Tukaamua kufunga barabara pande zote mbili together with the National Police ili tuhakikishe kwanza safety ya wananchi iko priority 1. Na kwa sasa ile jitihadi tunafanya watu wetu wa fire county fire department wamefika hapa immediately. Tumeanza kufanya forming of the to prevent escalation and prevent sparking the mafuta yale ambayo yamemwagika. So far katika hizo tanki mbili zilizokuwa zinavurutwa, moja ndio imependuka, ndio imemwaga hiyo mafuta, na tunajaribu kucontain, tunaform hiyo mafuta. At the same time tunajaribu kutoa yale mafuta kwenye ile tank kama mnavyoona, kuingiza kwenye hizi tanka zilioko juu. Alafu hiyo ya pili pia tujaribu kufanya the same thing, ndio baadaye tufanye assessment tuhakikishe kwamba kila kitu iko sawa kabla hatujafungua barabara. Kitu ningewaomba wananchi wawe na subra na sisi, kwa sababu wakati wa safety ya wananchi inakuwa ni priority 1. Hatutaki kuachilia watu wapite kwenye hii barabara alafu kutokee tatizo alafu tuje tujute sisi wote. Na tukimaliza hiyo, niliwaomba wananchi watumie alternate routes. Tumesikizana na watu wa port, wamekubali kutuachia fursa ya magari yapite upande ya port kidogo, na raia wengine wasafiri wengine watumie upande wa Mwakirunge. Kwa sasa ndio itakuwa ni njia rahisi za upande huu wa nje ya nini. Waangalie alternate routes wapitie.
Shukrani sana.
Asanteni.
Naam, Ian, umeweza kusikia fika kuhusu hali ilivyo katika eneo hili la Kibarani, na ni kwamba kwa sasa barabara imeweza kufungwa katika maeneo ya juu ya roundabout na ya Changamwe na maeneo lile la Mombasa, maeneo pia vile ya Bakupa. Na kwa sasa barabara imeweza kuarifiwa kwamba itaweza kuchukua masaa 3 ndipo barabara hii iweze kufunguliwa. Kwako studio.
Okay, thank you very much, Fred Guy, reporting the fact that there is heavy traffic around the Kabarani area in Mombasa County following an incident where a train has derailed. So we shall keep you up to speed about that. The county officials are saying they're trying to attend to that particular situation. We're now taking a short commercial break, after which we shall be speaking to former Kiambu Governor, Mr. William Kabogo, as we continue to follow other developing stories right here on the Daily Brief. Stay tuned.